Hey guys, and welcome once again to the next episode of Python tutorials. In this video, we're going to look at some string operations outside of slicing. These are string modifications, changing letters from lowercase to capital, changing words, changing spacings, and things like that. So let's go ahead and go to the desktop, and we will see what we shall see. So here we are on the desktop, and I've already got Notepad++ opened. And I pasted in as a comment the sentence that we're going to use. So here we have a comment. Remember what we talked about in the first week? I put a hashtag sign in front of it. That means that the computer ignores it, but I can read it. And the reason I can, because my memory is not good enough to remember how I set it up. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at changing this sentence. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog into the correct punctuation. In this case, we're going to capitalize this T, and we're going to make everything else lowercase, because that's the way a sentence should be done. So in order to do that, we're going to have to look at some of the different operations in Python. So first one we're going to look at is the upper function, and basically what that does, that turns every letter in a sentence into the upper case. Now remember what I told you in the video, in the assignment. We're going to start off naming. Now I'm not going to follow exactly the assignment, but I'm going to try to keep up with that. So we want to create a variable, give it the right name, the name that's in the assignment, and we're going to surround it in. This time we're going to use single quotes. And we're just going to basically copy and paste that in. Alright, so we've created a variable using the proper naming constraints, lowercase, first letter, no spaces, and each word separated by a capital letter. And we've assigned it the value that was requested. So now what we're going to do, we're going to change all the letters into uppercase using the upper function, and then we're going to print that out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go print, we'll use the print function, and then we're going to use the upper function. The way we do that, it is part of the fox string object, out of the string object basically. So you use the name of the variable dot upper, and then we don't have any parameters. So look at this very carefully. We use the print function here. So print, and then these two parentheses go with print. The name of the variable, and we're going to use what's called dot notation. What happens is when you add a dot after an object, any functions or any methods that are available to that oops, I misspelled that, are available to that object, in this case a string, are made available. So just like the print function, we have the upper function name followed by the parentheses, but we don't have any parameters because we're operating here, not in here. Alright, so what should happen is when I print that out, when I run the code, this should run, and it should print in all caps our sentence here. So let's go ahead and save, and it's Python exercise _4. First thing we need to do is open up a command prompt, and then we're going to change directory to our Python code folder, dir, and there is our Python exercise 4. So we're going to run that. And when we do, sure enough, we have changed all the letters to capital letters. That's what our program was designed to do. However, that's not the ultimate goal. So we're going to do some other things, but that's not our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is to just change the first letter. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're going to go back and we're going to do another thing with this string. Now remember, we've still got it held in Fox string, and now it's all capitalized. Okay. Or actually, it's not. We didn't assign it a new variable name. So let's do that real quick. Let me show you what I'm going to do here. So instead of Fox string, we're going to call it capital Fox. We're going to say that's going to be equal to Fox string dot upper. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to print capital Fox. This should do exactly the same thing that the last program did. Only this time we've changed the string legitimately. We've made a new string out of it, and we've given it a new variable name. So let's go ahead and save that. And let's run it. And sure enough, we got exactly the same thing, only now we're not printing the original, we're printing the new one that has been changed. So now what we're going to do, let's change this to lowercase. So we're going to do lower Fox is equal to Fox string. Oops, no. We're going to use the one we just worked with. We're just going to make this a progression. And we're going to do that in, lower. We're going to print that. And what this should do is still going to print out the all caps, but it's also going to print it out in all lowercase as well. So let's go ahead and run it again. And sure enough, we have an all caps, and now we have all lowercase. So that should give us another tool to use. So the upper function changes all the letters to upper, the lower function changes all the letters to lower, and now let's do the next thing. Okay, so as you can see, let's try this again. Okay, so as you can see, we've gotten all caps, we've gotten all lowercase. And that's upper, the upper function and the lower function. So now, let's look at replacing a string with another string. This is useful when you have a string and you want to replace a character. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take lower Fox and we're going to replace all the T's with capital T's. How about that? If it's a lowercase t, which they all are, we're going to replace them with capitals. So let's call this one T Fox. That's going to equal lower Fox dot replace, and now we are going to add a parameter. So we're going to do lowercase t, and we replace it with capital T. All right, and that's what the parameters are: the letter that you want to deal with or find, and what you want to replace it with. And so now we're going to print tfox. So let's see what we get here. First of all, we're going to save it again. And we're going to run the code. Sure enough, when we look at that, there's a capital T, and there's a capital T. So hey, we're getting close to our final outcome, but we're not there yet. We changed them all uppercase, all lowercase, and now we've learned how to pick one particular letter out, but it picks all the letters out. That's the problem. Now, could we fix our code with this function? We could, and let me show you how. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and fix our string like we want it using this replace function. But now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we're going to go correct fox. And that's going to equal lower fox. And we're going to, we're going to replace, but this time we're going to replace the space Q with the Q. So we've limited it down. The only place where the lowercase q is at where the space and the next letter is not Q, the only place where this happens is one place, and that's the start. So now if we print it, what we're going to find is that our program is going to work and our sentence will be correct. All right, so let's go. Python. It's py, enter. And look at that. The final one is correct. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog, and the first letter is capitalized, and the rest of the letters are lowercase, just like they're supposed to be, and that was done entirely with code. So, as you can see, using string methods in Python is a very good way to adjust not only little pieces of text like this, but also if I had a book, an entire novel, 10,000 pages, and I needed to go in and make an adjustment. Let's say I had used the wrong name in a data set that had 1 million records in it, and I had used the wrong name in a data entry, and I needed to go through and find every instance of that and change it. This little Python script would take just a few seconds, and boop, it would be done. So Python is useful for just about any kind of database administrator or just about any kind of IT professional. Python is probably the most useful language that you're going to find. All right, so go ahead and read the assignment and do what we just did. Basically, you don't have to put in all the different steps that I put in, but go ahead and do what you need to do to change the sentence that's in there to the correct sentence. Do it with code, and then go ahead and use the Start Exercise button to turn it in. And if you have any questions, I can be reached through the Canvas inbox. I hope to see you in class, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks.